warmly welcome all the participants, distinguished experts, panelists on the 9th day of National Training on Smart Weed Management for Sustainable Agriculture. I am glad to see all the participants showing keen interest to learn through the expert lectures, interactive question and answer sessions, and the quiz. To take this enthusiasm forward, before we proceed to our expert, I may share a brief introduction to our first esteemed expert of today's session, Dr. Narendra Kumar sir. Dr. Narendra sir has completed his PhD in 2003 from IER in Delhi, and followed by he served as a scientist from 2003 to 8 at ICR VPKAS Almora, and followed by senior scientist and principal scientist at ICAR IIPR Kanpur. Since July 2023, he became a head division of crop production at ICR IIPR Kanpur. He has made a outstanding contribution in conservation agriculture, weed management, climate resilient practices, rain-fed rice fallow, and cropping system intensification. He has developed popular technologies for farmers and contributed to development of nearly 17 varieties for oilseed and pulses. He has published more than 100 of research papers and nearly 60 book chapters and many more. And he has presented nearly 30 papers in seminars and symposium. Sir has awarded many awards and honors, some of like Indian Society of Agronomy, Dr. P.S. Deshmukh Young Agronomist Award, ISA Associateship Award, IIPR Best Scientist Award 2 times, 2013 and 2022, International Tower Grant Award by DST 2 times, Best Poster Awards in Conference and Symposium, Fellow of Indian Society of Agronomy, Fellow of Indian Society of Pulse Research and Development. He served as the editor-in-chief in Journal of Food Legumes and editor board for several national and international journals. And Sir is presently a secretary of Indian Society of Pulse Research and Development. So with that, sir, I am welcoming you for today's talk on smart weed management in pulse crops, sir.
Thank you for nice introduction, Soni.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sharing my presentation. Just see it.
Sir, slides.
Slide, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect, sir.
Okay. So it is moving also?
Yeah, moving.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you very much for giving me opportunity to share my view on wheat management in pulses. That too is smart wheat management in pulses. So first I will speak about IAPR and where we are working and what and we have just look at this one. The pulses research started in 1966 with the All India Crop Improvement Project on pulses, and their headquarters that time the headquarters was at IRI, New Delhi. Later on, it was shifted to Kanpur, and 1993 this became an institute, and then after that this institute is known as Indian Institute of Pulse Research, Kanpur. Now we have the 4 centers in different corner of the country, like one in southern zone, Hyderabad, Karnataka, central zone at Bhopal, and western zone, Bikaner, and eastern zone we have one center in Bhubaneswar. Earlier, most of the people, I think, they were knowing that a creep on chickpea, a creep on pigeon pea, a creep on mullar, and network program on arid legumes. That was earlier at Jabalpur. Now, all these programs merged, and last year, now merged to a 2 program only. All India Coordinated Research Project on Kharif pulses and Rabi pulses. So with this structure, we are taking care of all research related to pulses in the country. So we are present everywhere in the country. This is as per our this center, like chickpea, pigeon pea, that merged all together, and now we are just trying to divide all the center into 2 groups. but still we are in process of merging all those centers. So that's why a new map is not available. So look, one more important program is started by the IAPR, that is it's a very successful program, strengthening quality seed production. So always it was thought that farmers, they don't have access of quality seed or pulses, and that's why pulses production is low. And accordingly, 10-year back, it was discussed and decided that seed hub, we have to create seed hub. And then a proposal was submitted by IAPR of 150 seed hubs created throughout the country. For that, the government has given a fund, 1.5 crore rupees for every centers. So just imagine, more than 500 crore we have received and created 150 seed hub, successful seed hub. And all seed hub at present, they are producing 1,000 quintal of seed, pulses seed, that is certified seed, and that is distributed among the farmers. So we are able to produce more than 1 lakh quintal of seed, pulses seed, quality seed, and region specific seed. Because suppose if one center, seed up center in Bihar or one in Tamil Nadu, so those centers, they are producing for their own state, variety prevailing in those states. So if you look the trend of the pulses productions till 2010, 9 or 10, it was simply around 13 million ton, 14 million ton. But 2010 and 11, it increased by 3 or 4 million tons. Thereafter, again in last few years, a drastic increase we have recorded in pulses production. But still we are not self-sufficient in pulses production, and we are importing 3 to 4 million ton every year to meet out our national demand of pulses. So here you look, like in the first graph you just see, in 10-11, there is a jump in pulses production. After that, again in 17 and 18, there is again jump in pulses production, that reached to more than 19 million ton. And now in 2021 and 22, it reached to more than 27 million ton. But last 2 year, again, there is a reduction in pulses production. And last year, 23, 24, it is only 24.4 million ton. So we have seen that there is reduction. This is mainly because of bad weather and some other reasons also, because earlier government ensure that they will procure the pulses, but only 1 year the government procured pulses, particularly chickpea or some urad bean and lentil. But thereafter, there is no procurement by government, and maybe because of that, and also there is a reduction in market price. There is decrease in market price. Farmers, they have certainly they are not taking. So there is a reduction in 2 to 3 million hectare area in pulses, and that's why there is less production of pulses in the country. If you look the increase that happened, because that happened mainly because of increase in chickpea. So 4.5 million tons of chickpea added during 14-15 to till date. Similarly, if you'll see, then mung bean is also one of the major game player. Because of that, pulses production increase in the country. But still we are lacking in case of pigeon pea and lentil. Urad bean also there is increase, lentil also there is increase, but we are not able to fulfill the demand of pigeon pea, urad bean and lentil in the country. But anyhow, in chickpea, mung bean and some other pulses, we are self-sufficient, and we are able to meet out the demand of chickpea as well as mung bean. So if you look, because when we are planning, we are thinking of where area is more, where production is more, in which state. So if you'll see the Rajasthan, that is coming up in a big way. Rajasthan is becoming one of the most important state for us, and they are producing maximum pulses, followed by Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and then Gujarat. Gujarat is also giving a very good production, and then Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh is coming at 5th position. However, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra, these are the main game player. And if you'll see the Gujarat in last few years, there is a drastic increase in production of pulses in particularly in Gujarat also. So that's why our planning and our policies at IAPR, we are concentrating more to this state, and also we have planned for less producing where the yield is also less. So for those states also we have separate plan. Per capita availability also increased during the last 10 years. And now we are having per capita availability of pulses is around 50 or 52 gram per day per head. And one more important things happen in last 30 years, that is shift in area from northern zone to the central and southern zone. So about 4 to 5 million hectare area from northern region that is shifted to or you can say that northern region 4 to 5 million hectare area of pulses that was occupied by the cereal crops. And in central zone in rain-fed, particularly in marginal land, the area 4 to 5 million hectare area increased, and that compensated the decrease in area in northern region, and that's why the total production was not much affected. But one important parameter is still we have more than 75% area under pulses area under rain-fed. But if you see in most of the pulses except chickpeas, even more than 90% area under rain-fed. Even in pigeon pearl, if you'll see that is 95 to 96% under rain-fed. Similarly in lentil and urad bean also. Only in case of chickpeas, somehow 30-35% area is under irrigated condition. That's why we have to think of those area where we can those area like irrigated area in chickpea, where if will support with some certain recommendation, particularly weed management, because weed flora in rain-fed and irrigated condition that vary. So we have to target in both conditions, like northern belt chickpea belt, or central zone or southern zone rain-fed chickpea belt also. So whatever we are doing, we are just doing experiment in all these region through our ECRIP program, and accordingly we are recommending practices for these regions, irrigated as well as rain-fed region. If we'll see the crop by production, that is maximum contributed by chickpea, even around 48 to 49%. Total production of pulses is contributed by our chickpea only, followed by pigeon pea, then mung bean and other crops. So if we'll just see the 50%, the total contribution is coming from chickpea. So our focus is mainly in chickpea. That's why the chickpea production increased in last few years by more than 5 million tons. So we have to think of other crop also. Accordingly, in a recent last 2-3 years, we have developed certain plan for other crops like pigeon pea, lentil, urad bean also. So we are focusing in these crop also just to increase the production so that we can fulfill the demand of our people. So as you know, the pulses are there, that is having relevance, great relevance to our not only agriculture but our day-to-day life also. So that it's well known for the nutritional security of the country, particularly because they are rich in protein, they are rich in minerals also, and also many growth, many health supporting chemicals also present in the pulses. So that is helpful to achieve the nutritional security of the country. And pulses is also one of the potential candidates for the rain-fed farming system, rice furrows or other rain-fed regions. Particularly, if you'll see the Bundelkhand region, Bundelkhand, that is considered a pulse ball of the country. That pulses is taken 100% pulses is taken under rain-fed. So that's why pulses is one of the good crop or remunerative crop for the rain-fed ecosystem, agro ecosystem. It is also helping to improve the soil health And we have seen here under long-term experiment, wherever we have included the pulses in the cereal-based cropping system, there we are finding that there is a drastic change in soil health, and improvement is there. Biological parameter also improved, physical as well as chemical parameters. So overall health improvement is there. Conserving natural resources, because pulses require less water, less nutrient, and that's why they are conserving natural resources. Pulses also here again we have started working on this one, pulses greenhouse emission under pulses and pulse-based cropping systems. So here we in the initial stage itself we have indication that wherever in cropping system we are including the pulses, there is a great reduction in greenhouse gas emission. So those kind of observation we have recorded here. Also reduces the soil erosion, tackle climate change also, because I will show in a subsequent slide. And it's a good candidate for intensification as well as for intercropping system. So just see here pulses. So it's climate considered as climate smart crop because it increases the productivity. Just three pillars just to see the pulse around the pulses. It enhances the resilience to the system. Also, it's lowering down the greenhouse gas emission, and that's why pulses is considered as one of the climate smart crop. And when you just look the, I'm not going about the how much there is loss in the country because of the weeds. So we have certain target here. The IAPR have set a target like we have to achieve 39 million tons of pulses production by 2050. But Niti Aayog say having the different target, that is 48 to 49 million ton by 2050. So we are targeting both just to achieve around 50 million tons by 2050, and accordingly we have developed a plan, and that we are going to implement so that we will able to achieve by 2047, like the Modi ji government told the Amrit Kal, by the end of the Amrit Kal we will able to achieve this self sufficiency in pulses production in the country. So we are targeting in that direction, and because of that, to achieve that, weed management particularly is very important in case of pulses. So why? Just see here, because pulses, most of the pulse crop, they are having the initial slow growth, and that's why they are poor competitor of the weeds. And just look, one kharif crop in the figure I have given, one kharif crop top and one rabi crop. Just look how much weed infestation is there in the field. So just imagine how much weed losses will be is there in pulses because of weed infestation. Also, the pulses particularly, except if we leave the pigeon pea, mostly they are small or short plant type, grown under rainfed with the poor inputs, not only in case of fertilizer but pesticides, but also the farmers are not using herbicide or even not going for good weed management practices. So because of that, there is an issue. Also, mostly many area if you'll see when you visit the Bundelkhand also, and the central zone, other zone. So mostly they are grown under this one intercropping or mixed cropping. Not intercropping, some of the field you will find the intercropping, but mostly they are taking in the mixed cropping system. Limited herbicide option available, not like rice and wheat or maize. So here there is issue. So we don't have a good herbicide, or number is also very less, one or two. So that is also one of the issue. Weed resistance is also developing day by day. So like we have recommended one of the herbicide like Imidazole, but now we are getting report from Lalitpur of Bundelkhand region and other parts of the country that certain weeds they are developing resistant to this particular herbicide. So that is also one of the issue. So weed resistance is also we are reporting, just we are observing. So manual labor, so nowadays manual labor is not available, it's very costly, and that's why intercultural operation and pulses are normally not done. Cereal, that is not required because cereal we have a very good number of pesticides on herbicides. So mostly interculture operation not required in case of cereal, but here because we don't have herbicide, so we need to control weed through manual weeding or maybe through mechanical means. So climate variability is also there. That is also like look to the this year as a climate. Last year also we observed the similar kind of pattern of rainfall during rainy season, and that's why we were not able to apply herbicide in our pulse crop. This year again there is it's a heavy rain continuously. We are getting rain after sowing, and that's why we are not able to apply herbicide in our fields. And because no clear days we have observed, every day there is cloud and by the evening there is some rain. So because of that, here itself at our research farm we have not able to apply herbicide in our crops. And just imagine farmers, how the farmers will apply. So because of climate variability, we are facing the challenges in weed management in case of pulses. Because this time I will just see the urad bean and mung bean, particularly in kharif season. So this that mature in 70-75 days, and within this short period we have to manage weed. So this year and last year the similar situation was there. So rain fade and poor management, as I told. So these are some of the report. Uh, Reduction in yield in pulse crops. So many people have reported here again. Here also we have seen uh, we have observed great reduction in yield, pulses yield. Particularly in Kharif season, many times in Urad bean and mung bean, we are not able to harvest. Means 100% loss is there. Even in pigeon pea also, if we are not doing proper interculture operation, in that case also 70 to 80% loss is there. Particularly in Rabi season, somehow less weed infestation we have. So in that case, maybe 30 to 40% yield reduction we have observed here at our research farm. So smart management or climate smart management. So it's a very smart means we have to take care of all the management practices so in a holistic manner. So holistic manner we have to take care of climate change also. We have to take care of our environment also, environment impact of our practices. Also we have to see the long term productivity or profitability what we are going to adopt. So we have to think of all these three parameters like just here see, I will show in next slide. And also we have to see that how the changes occurs when there is increase in temperature, when there is alteration in rainfall patterns. And also we have to keep watch on invasive weeds. And also we have to see that how we can manage weeds in cropping system mode. So what kind of practices we have to follow in previous crop or during the lean period, so that that is having impact on succeeding crop in reducing the weed population. So those kind of things we need. So there is three things we have to consider when we are thinking of smart weed management. First one is adaptation. Adaptation is whatever the practices we are just recommending, that should be well adapted by the farmers. That should be the weather smart practices. That should be the input efficient practices. So those things that we have to see here. Another one is mitigation. Mitigation means there should be reduction in carbon emission or greenhouse gas emission, and the practices should be carbon smart or energy smart, energy efficient or carbon efficient. So those kind of practices we have to think here under mitigation head. So efficiency we have to see the how we are going to sustain the productivity, how we are going to sustain the profitability, how we are going to increase the input use efficiency. So those things we have to think under this one, and accordingly we have to select our management practices of weeds, particularly in case of pulses. So many things are there like prevention, integrated weed management, adoption of local climate. Uh, so those adaptation to the local climate the practices we have to select, use of suitable inputs, and water or input efficiency kind of things. So here some of the things are listed like crop rotation, diversification. So holistic manner we have to see. So system based approach we have to follow, because as I told, we have very less, very minimal chemical to control weeds in case of pulses. So we have to go for holistic manner. So diversification, crop rotations, cropping pattern, those things that we have to think of. Cover crops, like in summer season, if we are going for cover crops, if you are taking the intercropping as a cover cropping as a intercrop. So those kind of things we have to see. Mulching also, if very very available crop residue, then we can go for mulching. Weed seed bank management is a very important. Uh, this one, this particular section is very important. Weed seed bank management, because if we are managing weed seed bank, certainly we'll able to get rid of the these weeds in our field. So those things we have to see. Mechanical control, and certainly we have to nowadays think of precision agriculture or AI based agriculture, not just what we have done at IIPR. So we have worked in many aspects on weed management in pulses. So we have seen the dynamics with flora in different pulses, pulse based cropping systems in different season, crop competition. Also, we have taken care of weed dynamics. So we have the long-term experiments in that experiment. Also, we are just taking care of weed dynamics. Every year, we are just recording the weed weed parameter or weed flora present in that particular experiment. Then herbicide screening also we are doing. We are trying to find out the suitable herbicide for pulses. So whatever herbicide available in the market, we are taking from purchasing from market, and then we are screening in pulses, different pulse crop. So particularly our focus is on post emergence herbicide, then herbicide tolerant variety also. So now we have identified many genotypes that is tolerant to the different herbicides. Weed management, conservation agriculture, that is also our focus point. And at present also we are having to experiment on this aspect. Then certainly we have a certain study we have done on nano formulation of herbicide. And nowadays we are working on unmanned aerial vehicle with drone. How drone can be used for application of herbicide. So what will be the SOP? So we are working on the SOP for herbicide application through drone. So now this prevention is the first and foremost important measure that we have to take care of when we are going for pulses, where we have a very less option for weed control through chemicals. So here, so our experience is, if we are not preventing, if we are not vigilant enough uh, to stop entry of any weeds in your field, then you have to face a great consequences, like we are facing here at IIPR at our research farm. So this work on the principle of 1 year of seeding makes 7-year weeding. So we have to stop seeding of any new weeds in your field. And the example is actually Coronopus didymus in Rabi season. It's a very great menace at our farm. This particular weed is not, we are not able to control by any herbicides. What is the actually the nature is, even with the first irrigation or second irrigation 45 or even 65 days after sowing. So with the second irrigation also, this particular weed is coming in a big way, and that is suppressing our crop even at the maturity time. And this particular weed came with FYM, because every year our soil is not carbon rich. So every year we are purchasing FYM and applying to our farm. So with that FYM, this particular weed came, and now this became a great problem at our field. So just imagine, it's a small mistakes, And because that mistake only, we are facing a great challenge and not able to control this particular bit. Seeds are also very, very small, not visible with the naked eye properly. So even one plant is producing more than 100 or even 500 seeds. So this kind of nature of this particular weed is there. So we have to vigilant enough to prevent the entry of any weed in your field. Now the crop diversification also, we have worked here in crop diversification, and we have seen that when we are including summer mung bean either in rice wheat cropping system or maize wheat cropping system, so there is great reduction in Phaleris minor population or even in cypress population in case of wheat, or even cypress in case of rice also. So simple introduction of summer mung bean in the summer mung bean in rice wheat, or you can say the intensification of rice wheat or maize wheat with the summer mung bean, that is helping to control or minimize the infestation of Phaleris minor or cypress in whole cropping system. So just imagine, so simple introduction of summer mung bean is having impact on wheat population. The cypress population also, so many practices we have done, and we have seen that when wherever we are going for green manuring, wherever we are taking this pigeon pea crop, or maybe cover crop like coffee, because coffee is a fast growing crop. So these practices, that is also helping to suppress the cypress population. And certainly puddling and summer mung bean, puddling is also in rice, that is supporting to suppress the cypress or control cypress population in Rabi season or summer season. So this kind of practices uh, we have to, wherever possible, we have to take care, and we have to recommend. And also we have seen that pulses in Kharif season, if we are taking the pulse crop in the Kharif season, that is also having impact on Phaleris minor population in wheat crop. So suppose if we are taking maize wheat or rice wheat, in place of maize wheat or rice wheat, we will take the urad bean wheat or mung bean wheat or coffee wheat. In that case, Phaleris minor population is getting reduced and in wheat. So this kind of observation we have seen in our two long-term experiment. So those kind of observation, there is that need to be implemented at farmers field also. So intercropping, yeah, intercropping, certain advantages there of wheat suppression, wheat smoothing efficiency is there. So up to 40-50% reduction we have observed in through this intercropping system. And once the intercropping, suppose if you are taking this fast growing crop like coffee as intercrop, so that is having the great suppression ability. So in that case, even more than 50% with the smoothing efficiency can be observed. So those kind of observation we have recorded here. Just look here, this is a pigeon pea field. When the pigeon pea field at the flowering or pod development stage or even maturity, you will find below there is a layer of leaves, dry leaves. That is not only adding to the soil health, but also just look, there is very less light on the ground and no weeds will be there. So by this way, if you are taking the particularly 180 days to 250 days crop of pigeon pea, or even 150 days or 60 days crop of pigeon pea, in that case also there is great reduction in beet population in subsequent crop. So these kind of observation we have, and we have recorded also. Particularly at our research farm, there is a great problem of cypress. But cypress also can be reduced when we are taking this pigeon pea crop in the field during the Kharif season, even early pigeon pea also when we are taking, there is reduction in cypress population in subsequent Rabi and summer crop. Then this seed bank management. So certain observation we have. In long term, we have seen that wherever we are diversifying the cereal based cropping system like rice wheat or maize wheat, or when we are following the integrated nutrient management system, there is increase in diversity of wheat. So dominance of it will be not be there, and diversity will be there. Even we have seen that there is increase in number of weeds in that diversified cropping system or integrated nutrient management system. So this particular observation is based on 20 year of long-term experiment that we have here. The two set of experiment, one is rice wheat waste cropping system, another one is maize wheat cropping system. So this particular observation, just you see, if there is more seed bank, then there is less emergence of weed. So I don't know, maybe because of competition among the wheat seed, there is less emergence. So wheat seed bank is, if wheat seed density is more, then emergence is less. So this kind of observation we have recorded in both the particularly two set of our study, and both the study confirm this kind of trend. Then another one we have taken observation in conservation agriculture that we have continued for 9 years. It's a long-term kind of conservation agriculture practices. So here we have seen that when we are following zero tillage with no residue, then there is a reduction in wheat seed bank. But when we are adding residue to the system, there is certain increase in weed seed density. So those kind of observation we have recorded. And another observation is when we are adding mung bean to the system, so there is a reduction in weed seed. And this means if you are going for intensification, then there is reduction. But when you are replacing rice wheat in rice wheat, when wheat is replaced by chickpea, then there is increase in wheat seed density. So this kind of observation we have observed. Suppose rice wheat is there, then if you are following the rice chickpea system, the rice chickpea will get a more wheat seed density than rice wheat system. But when rice wheat system, if you are adding the summer mung bean, then there is a reduction in wheat seed density. So this kind of observation we have recorded under long-term study of conservation practices. Also, some kind of observation we have taken care when we are following the zero tillage, in particularly conservation agriculture practices, then there is a reduction in annual weeds, but certain convolvulus like perennial weeds, that is their population increase like anything. So this we have observed in almost all conservation trials. Another one is when we are going for summer plowing and cross plowing, you are doing at 20-21 days. Then great reduction we have observed in case of cypress and other wheat population. So those observation we have, and that's why if people are not taking summer crop, then they can go for the summer plowing. By that way, the wheat seed get exposed to the sunlight and that get desiccated and killed. And in next season, there will be the less wheat population in the crop. Stale seed bed, here our observation is there. Stale seed bed, I think other people also told about the benefit of the stale seed bed. Actually, when I was seeing Dr. Jeetendra Kumar ji from ERI, so he was also telling about the stale seed bed technique and told about the importance. And this kind of observation when I was working at Almora with Dr. Gopinath ji. So in case of organic farming system, we were following this stale seed bed technique, and the efficiency of this seedbed technique, the stale seedbed technique, that was we have recorded also. So there is more than 60-70% reduction in wheat population in our this Rabi field pea crop. So organic condition when we have taken the field pea crop, one of the pulse crop, and when we followed this stale seedbed techniques, then great reduction we have observed in wheat population. Another one, farmers similar to the stale seed bed technique, that is with the pre-monsoon shower. What farmers are doing in some part of Uttar Pradesh, eastern Uttar Pradesh, they are just keeping their small undersized grain and they are mixing together all grains, not only pulses, cereal also. And with the pre-monsoon shower, they will broadcast in the field. So what will happen, particularly if the undersized grain they have broadcasted in the field, the field will have some green biomass within a 15 to 20 days. In general, sowing of pulses is done in the second fortnight of July. Particularly urad bean and mung bean, we have to go for sowing in this region around 20 to 25th of July. So they are having a gap of 20 to 25 days. With these 20 25 days, they are getting a good green biomass of either pulsage or some cereals that mix grain, and they are going for incorporating in the field before sowing. So before sowing, they will incorporate all those kind of green plants in the field itself. So by that way, that no, they are not only adding the green biomass, but they are also having the advantage of stale seedbed technique, because they will not go for deep line. They will go for the shallow line. They will incorporate the green biomass. They will not only this crop is coming up, but with this crop weeds are also coming. So they are killing all those weeds also incorporating the this crop. So good biomass, may it is around 1.5 to 2 ton of dry biomass they are adding to the system. By that way, not only they are improving the soil health, but also they are reducing the weed population in the their crops. So even in kharif crop and rabi crop. So those kind of practices also some of the farmers they are following. So here also at IAPR we have taken certain observation regarding the mulching. So suppose if you are having the rice residue, and if you are applying 4 ton, minimum 4 ton of residue or 5 ton of rice residue in the field, then certainly there is almost 95 to 98% suppressor of weeds. So weeds will not come up, only 1 or 2 weeds you will find here and there. So that kind of observation we have. We have also kept some stubble in the field. So there certainly there is certain reduction in weed population, but not 100%. So reduction was around 30 to 40% in weed population. So stubble of 25 to 30 centimeter you are leaving, you are harvesting your crop 25 to 30 centimeter above the ground. In that case also you have certain weed suppression or less weed population. But if you are following only zero tillage after rice, certainly wheat population will be more. So whatever we are following the previous crop, but you are just one more example is here, like cover crop or green manuring crop. You can say the in situ green manuring. This is under conservation agriculture, maize chickpea system, permanent raised bed maize chickpea system. So what we have done, we have gone for green manuring in kharif season. And this green manuring after 35 days or 40 days we have uprooted and just placed on the surface. By that way we have suppressed the weed in maize, and that also having the effect on subsequent chickpea crop also. So within 2 or 3 years, in 3 years the system get stabilized, and more than 80% or 85% weed population we have control with these practices. So also look here, rice culture practices. So 3 kind of practices is there, and how that is having effect on wheat population in rabi pulse crop. So direct seeded rice, just you look the left side of figure, direct seeded rice, then unpuddled center portion, center figure, unpuddled transplanting rice, and then puddle transplanted rice. So here just you look, if you are doing the puddling, then you are just suppressing the weed, because in puddle situation you are keeping stagnant water throughout the crop period. In that case, wheat population will be less. And puddling is also having effect on many weeds. So those effect we are getting when we are taking pulse crop after puddle transplanted rice. But when we are following direct seeded rice, lots of wheat is coming. Even unpuddle transplanted rice means, unpuddle means just you prepare the field, you just supply the water and go for transplanting. In that case also there is heavy infestation of weed during the Rabi season. So what practices you are following in previous crop, that is having effect on the subsequent season in pulse crop. Here again, we have taken one study on weed management in rice chickpea system under conservation agriculture practices. So look, when you are having the good control under zero tillage DSR, then zero tillage chickpea we have taken. So over the 2 year or 3 years, we have observed that under these practices, zero tillage DSR, when we are managing weeds with pendimethalin followed by bixparibac sodium in rice, and then chickpea oxychloroquine as a pre-emergence followed by propaquizafop. So with these practices, this herbicide when we are applying to the rice and chickpea under DSR and zero tillage chickpea, certainly after 2 or 3 years, there is great reduction in bit population in both the season, not only in Rabi chickpea, but also in rice. So this observation we have recorded, and this study we have conducted for 5 years. So already concluded also. Another intervention we have taken in control of rice rattoning, because I will see the rice fallows rattoning. Rice rattoning is undesirable character, because if there is any green growth will be there from the rice, that also extract the water from the soil. A soil moisture is a limitation in case of rice fallows, pulse crop. So we don't allow any rice rattoning in case of rice fallow condition. So we can go for application of Quijalopo, Phenoxaprop. If you are taking a mung bean, urad bean, then we can go for Imidazapur also. And suppose if you are taking pulse crop after harvesting of rice, then you can go even for the glyphosate application also. By if you are applying glyphosate, in that case you can kill going to kill all kind of weeds at the time of sowing of your pulse crop. So this kind of intervention we have done, and we have recommended also under rice fallow condition. So as I told, the permanent raised system in the maize chickpea. So maize chickpea we have continuously followed for 5 years, and every year before sowing we were going for reshaping of our this raised bed system with the tractor drawn raised bed planter. And before sowing of the crop or after harvesting of crop, we have gone for sowing application of glyphosate. So by that way, we have managed weeds in both the crop, maize and wheat. And after 2 or 3 years, it's a great reduction. You just observe here. So with the only conservation practices, we will be able to manage the weeds to a great extent in our this maize chickpea cropping system in permanent raised bed condition. So just imagine if you are continuously following system-based approach, and continuously if you are looking and managing weeds in your field, certainly you will have less weed population, and the infestation or emergence of weeds will get reduced year after year. Then also we have followed one integrated approach to manage purple nut phase, that is cypress. So cypress is a great menace for our farm, not only here but at many farmers field also. So what we have done in case of summer season, we have gone for irrigation. We have irrigated our field, and when this cypress came up or emerged, then we have gone for application of halosulfuron. That's a good herbicide to control cypress. So by that way, we have managed cypress. Also, when we have, as I told, when we have followed the crops.
அதை பண்ணி விடு, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. நான் அப்போ அதை பண்ணிட்டு நான் அதுக்கு ஒரு ரிப்ளைவும் போட்டுறேன்.
Okay.
அதுக்கப்புறம் நீ அங்கே உங்க.
So please mute. Somebody is talking. So this one, if we are following taking crop like pigeon pea or maybe in pearl millet, so dense crop. So in that case also we are going to reduce the problem of cypress in the system. Mechanical, yes, many machines developed by many of the institutions, small implements developed, and here at IAPR we have developed 2 small tools like IAPR manual weeder with the multi-tool bar carriers. means different kind of tools can be attached in a single this manual weeder, and the size of this particular tools is also different. So even the pulse crop shown at 45 centimeter row distance, or 30 centimeter row distance, or 25 centimeter row distance, so that can be operated in that situation also. So the different attachment can be used for a different row spacing, and inter row weeds can be managed easily with this particular manual weeder. Another one is roller contact type herbicide applicators. This also we have developed, and yeah, still we are modifying this one so that efficiency can be increased. Here is non-selective herbicide can be applied between the rows of any pulse crop. So here again, there the roller size, if we are changing, in that case we can manage weeds between the rows with this particular roller contact type herbicide. So any non-selective herbicide can be applied with this particular small implement. So herbicide, many herbicide recommended by many of the researcher, but now at present still we are having a very limited recommendation, like pendimethalin followed by quizalofop in case of rabi pulses. But recently we have concluded this one, topramezone can be used in chickpea. Throughout country we can use. Southern region dose certainly we have to increase by 25.7 gram AI per hectare. So this kind of observation we have recorded, but northern zone, southern zone, 20.6 gram is good enough. So application time is also for the 14 to 21 days after soil. So already we have recommended for the whole country, and based on that data, we have recently published one paper in field crop research. Kharif season, we have option of pendimethalin followed by imidazolam, or we can go directly with imidazolam. Now, still there is issue with the chlorinapho proposal, sodium acetylfluorine. That is, we have observed that this particular herbicide is good for control weeds in case of mung bean. So not even we can apply for pigeon pea or urad bean, but mung bean, this particular herbicide can be used. But pendimethalin followed by imidazolam can be used for mung bean, urad bean, or pigeon pea. So this even if we are not able to apply pendimethalin in that case, also we can go for application of imidazolam. So imidazolam in summer season also, that is also very efficient. And we have to see the dosage, because in summer season many places weed population is less, then we can go for less dose or low dose of this particular herbicide. At our situation, this 80 gram AI is good enough to control all kind of weeds in our summer crop, mung bean or urad bean. Intercropping, many recommendations given by the many of the researcher, and very few are common also. Certain study we have done in case of this nano particle loaded herbicide. So here with the sodium alginate and clay based nanoparticle we have used, and imidazolam we have loaded over this nanoparticle and used in our field. But because of transfer of the scientists, this particular study stopped now. But initial 2 year, what we have observed that when we are loading herbicide on this nanoparticles, certainly there is extended period of control of weeds in our crop. So those kind of observation we have recorded. Also, we have identified certain genotype tolerant to different herbicides like metribuzin, imidazolam in case of chickpea. And lentil also recently we have identified 2 or 3 genotypes that is tolerant against imidazolam, and some genotypes for metribuzin also. Here, this field pea genotypes that also we have identified, and this also registered. And these 2 particular genotype that is registered by our plant germplasm registration committee. One is metribuzin tolerant genotype of field pea, that is P637, and imidazolam tolerant chickpea germplant, that is IC 12315. So this particular we have these two genotypes registered by our group only, and now by the next year 4 more we are going to register in case of field pea and lentil. So at last this is we have to think of integrated weed management practices. So whatever resources available with the farmers, whatever cropping system they are following, so what little modification can be done in the cropping system or their practices that can support to minimize the weed population, a weed infestation in their field. So those things we have to see, and location specific recommendation we have to provide to the farmers, or solution we have to provide to the farmers. So now this was the new science and precision agriculture. So precision agriculture, this is also a subset of a smart farming system. So here, what we have to do, we have to think comprehensively and use all kind of technology, just integrate all kind of technology, and then we can go for the weed management, efficient weed management. Here we have to integrate IoT also, AI also. So IoT, AI, and automation system, these things we have to integrate. But still we are not working very intensively in this particular field. But certainly now next 5 year our plan, already we have proposed a project in this respect, and we are trying to use artificial intelligence not only for nutrient efficient nutrient management, but also to for application of the herbicide or for this management of weeds. So those kind of things just now we are trying to going to develop, and already we have started on project, and maybe in our next 5 year project will come to a certain conclusion and will able to give certain recommendation in AI based weed management in pulses. So as I told, drone based system SOP also we are developing, and we are also trying under that project AI based. So how we can integrate drone with the AI system so that efficiently we can manage weed in our pulse crop. So those things we are trying. So it's well known that the benefits of smart weed management. So well known, you all people, I think there is no need to speak on this one. So many advantage of this particular smart weed management. Then our focus is to increase the competitiveness of pulses with the beads. So early growth vigor is important, and that's why our BD program is focusing on in this aspect. Also, we are trying to include pulses in serial based system, and wherever possible we are trying to develop a crop diversification and intensification system so that bead dynamics can be break. And that if we are breaking those dynamics, certainly we'll have a very good management of weeds. Small machines we are also trying to develop, as I told, manual weeder. But problem is we have developed the manual weeder, but laborers, they are not able to even run this manual weeder for 45 minutes or 1 hour. They are getting tired. So now we are trying to attach some small machine with that manual weeder, so that maybe a battery operated or maybe small this diesel or petrol operated motor will attach with this one, so that one labor can use this manual beater for 2 hours 3 hours in a continuation. So that's we are trying. Also we are trying to develop some herbicide tolerant cultivars. So already we identified many of the genotypes, so they're already included in the breeding program, and maybe after certain period we'll able to come up with some herbicide tolerant cultivar in pulses. Herbicide rotation, so we don't have that much number of herbicide, but we are trying whatever available with us. So we are trying to rotate all those herbicides. So changing climate also we are keeping watch on this one, and we are trying to develop certain kind of management practices that may help even under different weather condition, and we can able to manage weeds in pulses. So those kind of things already we have planned, and that already we have planned for another 25 years or 20 years. So ecological approach, certain fungus we have identified, but we have came to know that even the fungus, when we are go for mass multiplication, and then when we apply to the field, if host is not available, they that chances to migrate to the other plant also, so other species or other genera also. So those things hurdle is there, but we'll try. We have our scientists, they isolated some of this fungus from diseased weeds, and they have just isolated and multiplying, and maybe in the coming season we'll go for application in the field, protected application in the field. So modern technology, AI, I just told, remote sensing also, our target is there to map the weeds in field, our pulse crop, and also we'll go for focus our research in the nanotechnology or drone based technology. So those area we are just trying to work in the coming years. So maybe some new recommendation with the coming year will provide from IAPR for efficient weed management or smart weed management in case of pulses. This is all about from my side. If you have any question, I will be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your elaborated and very nice presentation, sir. So, sir, now I request all the participants, if you have any question, you can raise your hand and we will take some questions. So Hari Singh want to ask some question. So Gyananji, can you unmute him? Hari Singh, you can ask.
Hello, sir. My question is very simple. I am asking regarding dose of herbicide in pulses. Due to since small quantity or small doses are we are using in pulses. So my question is, it can vary from light soil to dark soil, or how much it can vary?
Yeah, just look, in case of immediate thapper, what we have tried in our ECRIP program. So we have got response from 50 gram to 100 grams. 100 gram in northern belt, because wheat infestation is more and diverse kind of wheat is coming in northern region. And that's why even in central region also. So central region soil is somehow heavy, and even this northern region also somehow alluvial soil, and that kind of soil is there. Weather parameter is also different, and wheat population is also different. So because of that region, here we have recommended 100 gram of immediate upper. But if you just see the Durgapura, Ganganagar or Kota region, their wheat population was less, and soil is also light, particularly in Durgapura and Ganganagar. So even 50 gram was working very well. So location is through ECRIP program, we are recommending location specific dosage, like 75 or 70 gram, that was working well in case of Maharashtra and southern zone, immediate upper. So those kind of already when we are recommending, so we are recommending location specific dosage, zone wise dosage based on our ECRIP trial. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And one question, sir, from chat box. In conservation tillage in maize field pea cropping system, what is the importance of leaving 25 centimeters stable in maize in field pea crop during Rabi? So you can see in chat box the question and answer box.
Normally, I have told about the rice case, not the maize. But even if you are leaving the maize stubble in the field, certainly like the maize chickpea system, we have done. We have taken out the stubble, and then we have cut stubble in 1 to 1.5 feet. This one. So stubble we have cut, and then we put this stubble in between the rows of chickpea plant. So putting the stubble on the as a mulch in chickpea, that is helping to suppress the weed, also helping to conserve the water. And when there is then the decomposition of this stubble, that is also adding to the soil health. So those kind of observation we have seen, but we are not keeping a stubble 20 centimeters stubble of a maize, because they one or two in line you will get a stubble very less number of stubble in the field. So whole stubble what we residue we received from the maize crop, we cut into the 1 feet or 1.5 feet this one long stubble, and then we put in between the rows. So by that way we have managed.
Okay. So, sir, last question from Nargis Kumari. Sir, is there any herbicide tolerant cultivar for field pea and chickpea?
Any
Herbicide tolerant cultivar for field pea and chickpea?
I told we have identified the genotypes, but till now we have not developed cultivars. So we are in process of developing. Already we have done crossing in case of field pea for metribuzin against metribuzin, also in case of chickpea against imijathapa. So that we are in process. Crossing is done. Generation we are advancing. So maybe in coming 4 or 5 years we will able to give herbicide tolerant cultivars in pulses.
Okay. So the participant, I think if you have any question, then you can place your question and answer box. Then our expert will reply. Now, sir, thank you so much, sir. We are moving toward our next expert, sir.